Is it acceptable to remain friends with ex-partners while in a new relationship? And what are the boundaries?
So the boundaries are, if you're in an exclusive monogamous relationship, then you're typically not going to go hang out one on one with other single women, or for women hanging out with other single dudes or guys that you used to date typically. Because in most cases, not all, but in most cases, I mean, women do the breaking up 75, 80% of the time. And so in those cases, the men are typically hanging around as the male orbiter, hoping to get another shot at it. And so they're hanging out, or like I've done a lot of phone sessions with this where you could tell the guy's doing a lot of stuff for the girl's family and her kids, even though they're not his kids, and ingratiating himself with the parents and trying to interfere that way, and buying things for their other relatives and doing favors. And you're like, that guy doesn't want to babysit the kids or the pets. In some cases where it's like he's just doing it because he wants another chance, and he's of the approval seeking mindset because he's seen too many Disney movies. If he just continues to be a good guy, a nice guy, he'll get a shot, and he doesn't care that she's in another relationship, and he'll keep trying to, oh, I don't think that guy's good for you, and like little comments like that. But where both people have moved on, and they, like guys that are familiar with my book, like my English girlfriend, is like, I mean, after we split up, it's like I would do Skype video calls with her and the guy that she was dating in college off and on, just shooting the shit and catching up. I was happy for her. I hung out and with ex girlfriends, with new girlfriends, and when you have a good relationship and it's a healthy relationship, it's, you know you're typically cool with hanging out and being friends. But in most cases, it's the guys that got dumped, they hang around, want another chance. And so out of respect, it's like if she is gonna go hang out with that dude, and she knows that the guy still wants another chance, she's gonna want to have her husband or her boyfriend there, because she doesn't want him to get any kind of hint that maybe something could happen. And because it's the right thing to do. Your girlfriend or wife is not going to go out with six men from the office and drink and party and go to nightclubs till 2 in the morning when you got a bunch of kids. It's like, as a man, that's not cool, and you're not invited. And she's like, this is a work thing, but it's only her and a bunch of dudes. You got situations like that. It's, anybody hearing that kind of stuff would go, that doesn't look good.
That's very suspicious.
And vice versa. She's home with the kids and he's out with six of the hot secretaries from the office, and all who love him and also want to sleep with him because his girlfriend or his wife is hot as well. And, guys that have a hot girlfriend, or even just being surrounded by beautiful women, it makes other women like you more. And so a woman in a relationship with a man and they got kids together is not going to like staying home, and he goes out with six hot girls partying and going to nightclubs and stuff like that and not answering his phone. And it's like anybody would, or just like if it's innocent, a woman going out and having dinner and wine at 8 o'clock at night, even though she's married. It's because say the parents or friends of her might not know what her boss looks like, or one of her male coworkers looks like, and they see that and they're like, your wife is here at the restaurant. She looks like she's on a date with another dude. They're having wine and laughing, and she really seems to be getting along with this guy. It's like, what's up with that? And so, to prevent that from happening or any kind of impropriety, ladies just don't typically do those kinds of things, especially when they got families or kids or whatever, going out one on one. Because the guy, oftentimes, and most men, if they want a girl, they've seen too many Disney movies, they think, oh, she's in a bad relationship, I should be dating her. And so
like
they have
Captain Silo.
Yeah, and exactly. They're gonna continue to try to get in her pants. He doesn't care about the relationship, and if she has too many drinks, and he's always been handsome and charming, and that's how affairs happen. And guys go for the kiss, and then women just surrender to it in the moment because it turns them on, and plus they've had too much to drink, and those things happen. So it's like, if you respect your relationship and monogamy and exclusivity, you're just not going to go do those things. And if there are exes and it's known that there are feelings on the other side, you're always going to want your significant other together. Like I had it was a viewer's email that I did in the past few days. I don't remember which one of you girls did the email, but the guy had found out that like one of his close friends was now dating his ex-girlfriend from 2 years ago that dumped him. And so, and the ex-girlfriend moved away and he never heard anything from her. And then apparently she had moved back to town and was dating his close friend. And women will do that. Women will go, after they break up with you, especially if you do the dumping, then they start sleeping with your friends and or the male coworkers that you work with to try to get your attention. And it obviously drives them nuts when you're indifferent. You don't really care either way. But in this case, this ex-girlfriend who had just basically ghosted this dude and broke his heart. And this was before he came across my work. And it was one of the impetus for why he came across it. But he's with a woman who's way better, way hotter, and she's in love with him. He's in love with her. And so his friend was talking about it, and he had seen a video of me talking about that exact thing. I'm on a date with my girlfriend at the time, and I'm out with an ex-girlfriend and her boyfriend on a date because the girls are going to be jealous of each other and out of respect, and I don't want my girlfriend, she's not going to like it if I go meet the ex one-on-one, and so she's going to come with me, and we're on a double date basically. And so this is what happened. This couple goes on a double date with his close friend, and who's a great guy, but he's kind of a drunk and drinks too much. And the girl, and it's like he's like, it went better than I thought it did. It was like seemed real nice. But then after the fact, she sent a text inviting him to do something, like to go on a hike or something. And they had gone out on a that was like one of their dates that they had gone on. They went on a hike together and had sex like in a river or a stream somewhere. And she's inviting him, hey, if you ever want to go on a hike, or I'd love to. Let me know. And then he shows it to his girlfriend because he's a loyal dude, and they both respond to it and sign their names. And then the next thing she does is she reaches out on Telegram, and he completely forgot he even had a Telegram chat with her because it's been, a couple years, and he didn't even know he had the app on his phone anymore because he hadn't been on it. And so she basically invited him to like go on a dinner or go to a date one-on-one, making it clear that she's open to hooking up, even though she supposedly is dating his, close friend.
Yeah.
And she clearly knows he's got a girlfriend because they just went on a double date. And so she smiles the whole time, and in reality, she's thinking, I want to, now she really wants to get back in there, and she don't care if she screws over his friend. She doesn't care if she breaks up his relationship. It's just total lack of integrity. And so he shows this, and then it's like she's like, you need to tell your friend. And I made the joke that it's like, well, how good a friend is he? But if he's a good friend, it's like you got to tell him because bros before hoes, as they say. And if he's getting dopey and allowing these things to continue, then he's kind of bamboozled by the girl that he's dating and can't recognize her character. And so the right thing to do is to tell your buddy, and he may stay with her. And sometimes you do that also, blows up in your face. It may cause hard feelings, and she may continue to work on the friend now, and because she's got him so pussy whipped, and then so she turns your friend based on bullshit against you to where he doesn't like you and doesn't want to hang out with you anymore.
He's just trying to break us up so he can get
and so like he separates. She tries to separate him from his friend. So that's the other downside risk that I didn't think about that because especially when you got a situation where you're friends with the guy, you're friends with the girl, and they're all part of your group. And this is like a completely different scenario, but if you imagine this where, you're friends with both the guy and the girl, maybe you grew up together, maybe we went to high school, and she's cheating on somebody else, or maybe she hit on you and you got a girlfriend and you're thinking, oh, there's like all these people
you
that
don't
we
get
know. And it's like, so if you do it, then, then your friend might think, well, you were hitting on her, or, what caused her to do that? It's like guys that are emotionally blind because they're kind of dopey, they get manipulated, and sometimes the friendship will blow up over something like that. Just you being honest, because he might think, well, I don't want you around my girlfriend because she likes you and she hits on you because the guy doesn't know any better. And so those situations happen. So it's also like a catch-22, but the right thing to do is tell your buddy. But depending on how deep he is, or how manipulative the chick is, or how much of a hold she has emotionally on him, it's like those things can happen.
I also know that there's like scenarios where I don't think, regardless of what the scenario is, like cheating is unacceptable. Like I had this friend of mine one time that cheated on her significant other, but the thing is, this guy was like a complete total asshole, and apparently he was doing some like shady shit like behind her back, and basically my friends were like basically justifying the fact that, oh, she cheated on him, he deserves it. But even if the guy is a complete asshole, like cheating is still unacceptable, because that says more about not only the relationship you're in, but that also says a lot about your morals, where it's like you should be the bigger person, whether or not, quote unquote, the person deserves it. You should be the bigger person. You should be the one setting your morals straight. You should be the one doing the right thing, maybe like breaking up with the person or whatever the case might be. But there's scenarios that I've had friends, like for me, it just doesn't make any sense because, like I said, cheating is still bad, regardless whether
Whatever
the
you
guy
tolerate,
sucks or
invite
not.
more of.
I mean,
Typically.
I definitely have had friends that have had an outlook like that, like an eye for an eye type of thing, like. But at that point, it's pointless, because why are you going to sit around in a relationship that is toxic to yourself and to
Yeah, I think he
someone?
said that relationship he had with that girl was toxic, that emailer. When he had broken up with 2 years before, that's now dating his buddy.
Yeah, the chick was the one that actually broke up with him. I know this because I was the one that did the email newsletter.
Because she probably wanted to get with the friend.
No, she moved away. She wasn't dating or talking to the friend at all. She had moved back to town, and he didn't know it.
Oh, and then she
moved away 2 years ago for a job, and then moved back. He didn't know it. Then all of a sudden, his friend is like, "Hey, I got to tell you something." Kind of like what happened with me and I think I talked about my ex-wife, because like one of my good friends from high school was dating my ex-wife, and this is like, I don't know, 5-6 years after we split up. And like he didn't tell me because he was worried I'd be mad. I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I want to be
Maybe
happy."
that's why she moved
And so
back.
my buddy Sean and I hung out with him and her. We went to what was it, Pure Platinum or Solid Gold, one of them. And then we went to Denny's at like till like 2-3 in the morning or whatever, whenever we got out. And that was the last time. I don't think I've talked to her since or seen her since.
Jade, the thing with this girl was that she was the one that dumped the viewer, right? But then I guess what happened was that despite the fact that a few years went by, the fact that
he was different when she came back around as well.
Yeah.
He'd been reading my book, and plus he's got a hotter girlfriend who's totally in love with him.
Yeah, exactly. So the fact that she saw that, it kind of was like a switch of a light bulb on her head, that she's like, wow, this guy's doing completely better without me. And that goes to show how scum she is, because she was willing to home wreck.
So then she was like, fine, you want to do what you want. You don't want me anymore? I'm going to bang your friends to try to make him. Then they probably didn't even face him, because he's like, I'm a better person. Like, you're crap.
I can't imagine.
Throw her in the garbage.
Can't imagine
if you
how
love
much
somebody,
healing you have to
you want
do.
them to be happy, even if it's with you. Because love really is allowing. It's like you want the other person to be happy. You want them to find somebody
You mean without you?
That more. Yeah, exactly.
You said with you.
You did.
With you.
Yeah.
Without you.
With or without you.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who the person is going to end up with. You just want like someone who you have love for to
mad love.
Just find happiness, find what they really want out of life.